The rabbit hole may go deeper in the Lance Armstrong doping scandal. The World Anti-Doping Agency Director General David Howman says that the people in charge of overseeing Armstrong's drug testing may have turned a blind eye. I'm Kerry Chow, joined by Outside the Lines reporter TJ Quinn. TJ, highly incriminating comments. What's the basis for these accusations?
They go way back. There has long been a belief by many in cycling and in the anti-doping world that UCI, which is the International Cycling Union, aided and abetted Lance Armstrong's doping. Aided, maybe not so much, but what David Hellman is repeating are accusations that have been out there for years, that they basically covered up tests. It goes back to 1999. Lance Armstrong tested positive for a corticosteroid, a banned substance. Emma O'Reilly, who was a massage therapist, part of his team, gave an interview and has said under oath since then that they came up with a plan to backdate a prescription so he could get a therapeutic use exemption for it. That's in violation of UCI's rules or any federation, sports federation. There was also an accusation that in 2001 he failed a test and told teammates Tyler Hamilton and Floyd Landis that it was okay, UCI was going to take care of him. UCI has denied and does to this day that they ever covered up a test for him, but Lance Armstrong did later give a $250,000 donation to the federation. And he also had, as soon as the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, said it was coming out with a report that it did this week, when it moved to ban Lance Armstrong from the sport and strip his titles, the UCI's initial reaction was, well, USADA isn't even the governing body. They don't have jurisdiction. The World Anti-Doping Agency disagreed, said, no, it's very clear they have jurisdiction here. And then UCI former President Heinrich Bruggen, who is still honorary president, just said a year ago definitively Lance Armstrong never doped. How someone in his position could make a statement like that really just seemed astonishing to anybody, but UCI has really put its own credibility at stake.
Yeah, speaking of which, what does that mean for their credibility and maybe even the future of the sport?
Well, it's a big deal. Cycling has taken a bigger hit than probably any other sport because of doping. They had a massive scandal in 1998 that led to the creation of the World Anti-Doping Agency. Things got so out of hand. They don't have the stars they used to. They don't have a Lance Armstrong. So they're trying to recreate themselves as this clean sport. And already when UCI reacts by saying we may not accept these findings, the spotlight is still on them. It kind of became a battle between who's more credible, U.S. Anti-Doping Agency and the World Anti-Doping Agency, or the UCI. The USADA report that came out is, anybody who's looked at it is astonished by the depth of it, how many people they have testifying against Lance Armstrong under oath, how much evidence they have. So UCI is on the spot now. They've received that report, and they need to decide within a 21-day period whether or not they will accept those findings and formally move to strip Lance Armstrong of his titles. If they don't, there are going to be great questions throughout the world about how this organization can continue to function objectively.
And where does that put Lance Armstrong's legacy? We've always been using the word alleged. What do these comments now mean?
Yeah, it's what you've heard a lot this past week is with this report. A lot of people say it's time to take the word alleged out of that sentence. It's very damning evidence. As far as Lance himself, people in the sport still put him in context. He was a doper in a world of dopers. He beat the best at a fair game, a lot of people believe. But he is also the only one really who has not come out and said, yes, I did it. All these teammates, one after another, Tyler Hamilton, Floyd Landis, George Hincapie, Dave Zabriskie, guys who were respected in the sport for years have said, yes, we did it. That was the cost of doing business, but Lance still denies it.
The sport is in trouble right now. For all the latest on this developing story, keep it right here on ESPN.com. That's TJ Quinn. I'm Kerry Chow with your latest ESPN headline.